Coming in at number 5 is one of those treats that we got at the beginning of the year, the first quarter. And that's going to be another animated movie, The Bad Guys.
Hey, you! Get over here. Oh, I know what it is. You're afraid because I'm the big bad wolf. The villain of every story.
Duh.
And this is the crew. Mr. Tarantula, Mr. Shark, Mr. Piranha, Mr. Snake.
Everyone copy.
Copy. Copy. Copy. Copy. We're the bad guys.
It's crime time, baby. Shark. We need a distraction.
Do I get to improvise?
Fine, please be subtle.
I'm having a baby! Is there a doctor? Or perhaps several security guards that could leave their post and help me?
We were never given a chance to be anything more than criminals. But these are the cards we've been dealt, so we might as well play them. Here, let me help you. Are you okay, ma'am?
Thank you, dear. You're such a good boy.
Wait, what?
I'm the bad guy.
I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I love animated films. I love animated anything, to be honest with you. As long as it's not one of those live action things that they flip to an animated thing just to save on payroll. That's not me. Leave me out. But The Bad Guys was one of those treats that you didn't know that you were going to get in the middle of the first quarter. Like, it was something that came in between the holidays and the next Minions movie. It was needed because we didn't have anything at that time. I think the next big movie that was coming out after that, I'm not going to get into it because it's on my top 10 films, so I'm going to get into that a little later. But The Bad Guys was a treat that we all needed. It was that palate cleanser that we needed from the holidays, and it got you where you needed to be. It was one of those films that you could just throw on and decompress throughout the day. You know, throwing in the background, you got family over, just throw it on. It's one of those. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Coming in at number 4, I know you guys heard me speak so highly of this film, although I was very upset about the outcome of the film. And that's going to be Wakanda Forever.
Only the most broken people can be great leaders.
His people did not call him general or king. They called him Kukul Khan, the feather serpent god. Killing him will risk eternal war.
He's coming for the surface world.
Wakanda Forever was definitely a treat at the movie theaters. It did not give you what you wanted. It didn't get you what you needed, but honestly, I felt like it was a well thought out and put together film. Reason I'm saying this, if you were in the middle of pre-production and your star passes, you go into a panic. You don't know what to do. You have to do these rewrites because filming is about to start. Then COVID, and then, you know, there's just all these things going against you. But then you create something this magical, this specimen of a film, you know? So I have to give Ryan Coogler kudos for that. Again, it's not the way I would have liked to enjoy this film. Honestly, again, we have to learn that. I don't know, it has to just be with us because in other cultures, recasts happen all the time. We've recast Batman how many times? Christopher Reeve's Superman, we recast him. We have to learn that we have to move on from these actors that played these characters very well. And again, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. This is not about that the family or anything. It's mean no disrespect, but that character should have been carried on in another way, and we should have recast it, and we should have moved forward in a better way than what we did. But for what we have and what Ryan Coogler did, I have to give Disney kudos for that. All right. So again, coming in at number 4 is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Coming in at number 3 is Glass Onion.
Hello! Oh my God!
Crew, we've arrived. Disruptors have assembled.
Welcome, gang. We got a great weekend.
Who's that?
Benoit Blanc, the detective?
Mr. Blanc, I cannot overstate my gratitude to be here. When's the murder mystery start?
I've invited you all to my island
Hi!
because tonight a murder will be committed. My murder.
Once you're dead, will we still be able to talk to you?
Yeah, I'm not playing dead the whole weekend, dude.
This is truly delightful.
Across the island, I've hidden clues. You will have to closely observe each other. If anyone can name the killer, that person wins our game. Any questions?
Halle Berry, that has a kick.
Oh my God, what happened? Holy
Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a murder, and the killer is in plain sight. For at least one person, this is not a game. I must insist that nobody touch the body.
Jeez, detective, who killed the party?
So The Glass Onion was the Knives Out sequel that Netflix purchased the rights to. Now, I'm not the brightest guy in ever, but I just didn't understand the business behind this. Netflix purchased the rights for $100 million. I didn't understand the business decision then, and I really don't understand it now. Again, I get it, subscribers. I don't feel that that's going to help. Again, I know Netflix is cracking down on password sharing, but I have a Netflix account, and I have 6 friends that don't have a Netflix account. We're just going to gather in my home and watch this together. Why couldn't we gather in the theater and watch it together? You would have received more money that way, because let's just say a ticket price is $10. That's $60 versus my $20 a month. That's $60 for one night versus my $20 a month. And I may have to go watch it again, or may want to watch it again in the theater. And then it comes to Netflix, or it goes to video on demand, premium video on demand, and I purchase it. That's another $15, $20, $25. So again, maybe you guys can break it down to me in the comments. I'm not understanding the business behind it. But again, I was able to enjoy this film. I thought it was incredible. I love mysteries. I love thrillers. That's just my thing. And I love figuring out things. Now, was this one difficult to figure out? Not too much, but it was an enjoyable film. I liked the cast. I actually love the cast. I feel like it was a very well put together film. And I can't wait to watch it again. That's why it's going to be my number 3 film of 2022. So, let's get that out there. Let's get the jitters off. Coming in at number 2 is another Netflix original. Could we call Glass Onion a Netflix original? I mean, technically, yes, they own the rights, but either way. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Day Shift.
It's going to be a hot one in Los Angeles.
So what's on the agenda today?
Close your eyes, my son.
My eyes are closed.
Like every day.
What are you doing in my room?
Hunting vampires.
Now, you all remember how I talked about this film when it came out, and I still feel the same way. It was one of those films that, again, I wasn't expecting nothing from it because it's Netflix. I never put Netflix in that category of, hey, Warner Brothers or Sony, Universal, but now I do. They have catalog now. Now you can enjoy their catalog from Old Guard to Day Shift, and it was what was that? Was it Fear Street? Whatever, I believe it was Fear Street. Like, these guys are putting together solid films, and these projects are just sitting on a Netflix catalog, and I just don't understand it. And again, they do limited releases at the theater, but I don't even think this film was limited released at a theater. These are mistakes, Netflix, and I want you guys to get this together. Again, I see what you guys are trying to do, get everyone to rally up and come to your streaming site. But again, $20 a month versus $20 a night, I don't see how that compares. So either way, start releasing these films in theaters, because Day Shift was definitely one of those films that I would have enjoyed on the big screen. And I know they were saying something about the directors from John Wick. Like, come on now. And there was a phenomenal action scenes throughout the whole film. Like, again, the story wasn't the best story in the world, but it was enjoyable. It was one of those films that you didn't mind watching 2 or 3 times. So again, if you guys haven't checked it out, go check out Day Shift on Netflix. All right, guys, we are here. We're here. Drum roll, please. Coming in at number 1. I think you guys are just wondering, like, what could it be? We went through so many films, and honestly, there wasn't a lot of films in 2022, because looking back, this was a very tough list to make. But coming in at number 1, The Batman.
Police! Hands up! Stay still! Get out of here!
Fear is a tool. But when that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning. I've been trying to reach you.
Fire the gun!
This is a powder keg, and Rither's the match.
I can take care of myself.
If this continues, it won't be long before you've nothing left.
I don't care what happens to me.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
Batman was just one of those films that, again, everybody was expecting to fail. Robert Pattinson, Mr. Twilight himself. People forget that Robert Pattinson is an actually good actor. And that it's kind of hard to separate Twilight from Robert Pattinson, just like it's hard to separate Harry Potter from Daniel Radcliffe. And I know a lot of people hate to hear this, but Harry Potter films are they're interesting story-wise, but they're terribly acted out. Don't argue with me. It is what it is. And Robert Pattinson is one of those guys that shows time and time again that he is a phenomenal actor. If you haven't seen Lighthouse, which is a little trippy, and then you go to one of my favorite films, especially during the pandemic, Tenet, with John David Washington and Robert Pattinson, which I feel like that duo, I feel like we're gonna see a lot more of Robert Pattinson and a lot more of John David Washington in these films. Now, as far as John David Washington, I do want him to watch what films he makes, because every check isn't a good check. And right now you're building your resume. You want your resume to be solid. in some of these films be a little iffy. Same thing with Robert Pattinson, but he keeps lucking up on projects like Lighthouse, Tenet, The Batman. So again, Robert Pattinson, if you guys haven't checked him out in The Batman, go watch it. It was a very dark, gritty adaptation of Batman. I don't know. It was one of those films that you just, I wouldn't compare it to the Christopher Nolan trilogy, but if I were to compare it, it would have to be number 2 after Dark Knight. And I say that because, one, it's a great film. Now, could there have been like 15 minutes cut from it? It is a very long film. It's almost 3 hours. There's a good 10, 15 minutes we could have cut from this film and we could have got the story out, right? Zoe Kravitz, she is a beautiful woman. It's just, she's a terrible actress. And seeing her in this film and the way she was overacting, and maybe we blame it on the director a little bit, but that was about the only bad thing in that film. Again, she was great as Catwoman because, again, there was times where she's acting out certain things, but the talking, when it comes to the dialogue scenes, it was really, it really felt forced, and it was hard to watch sometimes. And again, 10, 15 minutes, we could have cut those out and we could have got this movie. This movie would have been A+ all across the board, but obviously it still made it to the number 1 of my top 2022 list. So, I mean, it did its job, right? But tell me what you guys think. Have you seen my top 10 films? Do you plan on seeing them if you haven't seen them? Do you have a top 10 film list of 2022? Go ahead and leave it down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video, all right? I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Seez Monroe Show. 2023 is going to be so beautiful. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Peace.